Welcome to the Total Outdoors with the Yankee Cowboy. Behind me on the bench I have two different styles of releases that we're going to go over. I want to talk about the releases and the importance of the style of release and what benefit it may or may not have. A lot of the videos that I'll do, I'm doing them because I've already made the mistake of doing something wrong, and I want to show you guys, you know, what's the right way of doing something. Now what I mean by that is I started out with the wrist strap release. Now I'm a shotgun shooter, so if anybody knows about shooting shotguns, you tend to slap the trigger. It's not like a rifle where you squeeze real slow on the trigger. It's more of a slap. So this particular style for me doesn't work. My groups they're pretty far apart. You know, I wasn't very consistent. So with that being said, originally my original bow I had, my Browning Bridger, was an older bow. That was part of the problem. So I went out and bought the Bear Attack that you see behind me. That your arrows, that's key too. You know, what kind of shafts you're using. I mean, everything plays a critical part. But getting back to releases, this is what this video is about. This particular release just didn't cut it for me. I'm a shotgun shooter. I tend to slap the trigger, which was moving my groups all around. The second most popular style is going to be a thumb release style. This here. Now this, you know, and also, well, before we even get into that, when you put this here wrist strap on, and you go to, you draw back like this. I mean, you could bring it up like this and use the trigger. I didn't do that. I always kept it like this, just straight on, and I tend to slap the trigger. I probably could have tipped it up like this, like I'm shooting now. I find this way to be more comfortable. Finding my anchor point is much better. But I think I'd still slap on the trigger just because it has that gun feel. And like I said, you tend to slap the trigger, so that's movement, you know, that's moving around. And not to mention, when you have this on your wrist and you go to take your arrows out or knock a new arrow, I don't have this wasn't the fold back one that would swivel out of the way, so this would hit the bow. Just a complete pain in the ass. So this one just wasn't working out. I went up to Cabela's and I tried out a variety of thumb ones because I figured the thumb one was going to be better. And I wish I had discovered it last year when I started getting into archery. This particular true ball, this is the Max 300. This thing is fantastic. And if you watch any of the pro archers, I don't know what the hell that was. Any of the pro archers out there, when they draw back, their hands like this. And my anchor point is my knuckles are right inside the beginning of my ear. And then I'll just push. See, there's no movement? Just push on it. Now, if I was with my traditional one, it would be like this. And when you go to slap the trigger, there's just a lot of hand movement. This one here, it's straight back like this, knuckles right to the air, and just push on it. Excuse me, I'm getting text in the middle of a video. Let's see. Okay. Alright. Put that aside for a second. Alright, let's get back to the to releases. I'm going to show you guys up close to the different styles of these two and why, you know, one is better than the other. Like I said, this particular one, this wrist style, I mean, they're not bad. Another downside is if you have a jacket on, this is a pain in the ass because now you got to put it over your jacket, which changes the whole length of pull because this is adjustable with a screw. It's just, look at it, it's too bulky. It's a pain in the ass. Trust me, guys. I mean, shoot what's comfortable for you, but for me, this is garbage. I mean, I'm going to keep it as a backup, but, and like I said, once you pull it back, this piece is long. It wants to move around and dangle. You got to try and steady that. There's just too many variables. Now, believe me, guys, if you're getting into archery, take my word for it. Stay away from this style. I mean, you'll see 99% of the people shoot this style. I'm telling you, if you shoot the thumb style, you'll never use this style. Now, like I said, for hunting, you know, if you're doing 3D shoots, target, whatever. If you got this wrist strap on, as soon as you put a jacket or any kind of clothing, it changes the whole ball game. So that's why this is just, I don't know, it's not good. There's a million reasons why this is not good. Those are just a few. This long piece dangling around, clothing. Now, go to the thumb style. Look how nice and simple this is. There's not a lot of mechanics to it, and they have a lanyard which I ordered that snaps into here, just a little rope, just so when I let it go, when I'm not using it, it could dangle there. You know, that's for more of a hunting scenario. But as far as target shooting, I'll shoot, throw it right in my pocket, boom, I can knock another arrow, slide it out of my pocket, and I'm ready to go again. So now again, with this, there's nothing to it, guys. Once you hit this, and this is adjustable. There's a small set screw right there. You can adjust the trigger if you want a hair trigger or not. So what you'll do is you put it on your D loop, you draw back. My anchor point's right here. Now watch all the movement you're going to see in my hand to release. That's it. See that little thumb push? Barely see me moving it? That's how steady it is. That is going to give you an absolute tight pattern. My patterns are unbelievable now. I probably should have shot some video. I couldn't get to the club to shoot, you know, some good video. I got my target in the backyard, but it's just too close. It's kind of hard. But if I were to show you a pattern from this particular one compared to the wrist strap one, it's night and day. My groups now they're like this. All my arrows are within, I'd say, a 4-inch circle. Just because, like I said, you draw back. Look at my thumb. That's all the movement you're going to get. Now watch the difference. I'll do a full on, put the strap on correctly. I'm going to put the secondary tie down on here. I'm going to put this on as if I was going to go shoot. Okay, it's all latched on. Typically what I'll do is this will go on my D-loop. I lock it forward. I don't put my finger in front of here while I draw back. I draw back. Now see what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see this. I'm holding this with my other 2 fingers to keep it from falling, even though it would be attached to the D-loop, but you still have to steady it. My anchor point, there's only one piece here holding. I mean, I don't like turning it up because it's not comfortable. So I was leaving it like this, and then I'd go to hit it, and I tend to smack on the trigger. There's just too much movement, and this isn't really comfortable. And like I said, with a jacket on, it changes the whole complexion. So what I'm telling you here, guys, is that if you're going to get serious about archery, stay away from this. I'm telling you. It's just, I don't know, it's just not worth it. In my honest opinion. I mean, I've been shooting for a little over a year now, and 2 things that jumped me leaps and bounds was buying that brand new Bear Attack, and finally going with the gold tip arrows. Night and day difference. And then, you know, this was just this changed the whole game. The thumb release. Now they have the thumb releases with there's a knurled nub. I don't like those. I tried those out. He laid out all the different thumb style they had at Cabela's, which is nice. They let me go in there and shoot away. This particular one, I'm going to buy another one of these as a backup. I mean, you draw back. My anchor point it's solid now. There's 3 knuckles going across the side, the beginning portion of my ear, and then the only movement is the thumb. See, just a little tiny movement. So that's key. Keeping yourself steady is key to a good pattern every time. And then again, like I said, these particular shafts worked out real good. These gold tip hunters are fantastic. Alright guys, so that was just a little bit of arrow release 101, if you would call it. Just trying to give you guys a heads up and some tips. Go with the thumb release. You won't regret it. Any questions or comments on this stuff, leave them below. As always, thanks for watching The Total Outdoors, the Yankee Cowboy.